top here, Tori, and we are going to start with the Arizona Cardinals. So when you look at the Arizona Cardinals schedule here, the full 17-game schedule, what couple games stand out at you the most?
So, one, that division is probably the best division in all of football. Maybe the AFC West is probably the best, but actually the AFC and NFC West, I'm going to give them a 1 and a 1A for probably being the best divisions in football. So also, I tried to go away from conference games for this one just because their divisional games are going to be really good.
Right.
Basically are going to be coin flip games all year long. According to the playoff predictor, I have two teams kind of dominating the whole division. And then I think I have them actually all splitting, like everybody going like 3-3 in the division, with the exception of maybe one team. But I think I have two teams at 12-5, one at 11-6, and the worst one's at 8-9.
Yeah.
So I would say look no further than their Sunday afternoon game against the Cleveland Browns for the Cardinals. It'll be a good mid-year matchup for them against another pretty much Super Bowl contender team. It's a good measuring stick. It's their 7th game of the year. So it's a good measuring stick to see where your team's at that time or that point in time during the year. I would circle that game as probably must-see TV if, both of those teams are at that point playing well and relatively healthy.
Right. So one game that I have circled here early in the season is that Week 8 matchup when the Green Bay Packers come into town, because I had the Green Bay Packers going 10-7, and I actually have the Arizona Cardinals going 9-8 this season. So I do have the Cardinals winning this particular game, but if they lose this game versus the Green Bay Packers, I could really see their season going downhill really, really quick, because after that they play a division rival in the 49ers. They and then they play a much improved Carolina Panthers team as well, and then they play another division foe in the Seattle Seahawks at the 12th man. So if they were to drop that game versus the Packers, I could see them dropping 4 games in a row easily going into the bye week there. And if you drop 4 games in a row, I have them that would be 3-7 going into the bye week there, and that's not good. That is not going to get you into the playoffs in the NFC. Struggling at a 9-8 record there. So, and then there's one other game that I have circled later in the season, and that is the Dallas Cowboys game. Yes, people are saying the Dallas Cowboys aren't going to be very good. They are always very good on paper, but it never translates over into the actual field. But this year, I think the Dallas Cowboys are going to come out and they're going to execute. And I think the Cowboys kind of have revenge on their mind from last year when the Arizona Cardinals came into Texas State Stadium on Monday Night Football and they waxed that ass. So this is kind of like a revenge game for the Cowboys almost. But I do have the Cardinals winning this game. So Tori, besides that early season game, are there any other games that really just pop out at you and say, "Hey, I need to watch"?
I'm going to have to agree with you. Depending on how the Cowboys look, I expect they'll be much improved with Dak back. But yeah, late season matchup with the Cowboys is another good barometer for your team. And there again, by that point, you're going to know where you are as a team. You are going to know, are we going to the playoffs or are we not? And that's the only thing I could see going sideways a little bit with this game is if they've got a really good record, they're locked into their seed. It's at no point does it make sense for them to play their starters. Then I could see them resting people. But if they're fighting for something, that's going to be a good late season matchup for them.
Yeah.
So I know you said that the Packer game too. Man, have you ever seen what happens when the Packers go to Arizona?
Yeah, I believe it was you. It was Lambeau
Field Southwest. It's like 90% Packer fans because the Snowbirds leave Wisconsin and head to Arizona.
Right. Yeah. So what do you have your record as for the Arizona Cardinals?
I actually have them going 12-5 on the year.
12-5. Who are their 5 losses?
Oh, that's a great question. Thanks for asking.
Yeah.
I thought
Offer merch in manoutradio.com. Check it out.
So we did that one website, and you're like, make your thing, and it saves all your stuff if you make an account. I made an account and I signed back in, and it didn't save anything. It brought me back to week 1. So all I know is I got them going 12-5. I screenshotted my picks at the end of the season.
Yeah.
Just so I would remember who it was. So I think I have them losing at the Seahawks. I think I have them losing at the Rams. I have them losing at Dallas. I believe I have them losing to the Browns. And then I do believe I have them losing to the Packers.
And then you also said you had them splitting every game in the division, right?
Yeah, and I'm thinking that's what I did. Basically, I had them I had them winning the home games and losing the road games.
Yeah, and then I actually had them going 2-4 in the division, getting swept by the Rams. So something about that Rams team just has me really, really intrigued this season. So I am picking a lot of Rams wins. But you know, I do have all the home teams winning as well. I do believe in the division. So one game that I think early in the season that is going to be a huge measuring stick is probably that week 1 matchup versus the Tennessee Titans. The Tennessee Titans are historically known for that great running game, run down your throat. You know, King Henry 200+ yards every game. Let him touch the ball 25-30 times a game. But the Cardinals defense, they added J.J. Watt, and they drafted really well as well. Do you think this will be a measuring stick for that defense in that week 1 matchup, or is it still too early to tell after that point?
I think it's still too early to tell at that point, just because I see the Tennessee Titans being a huge team set up for regression this year. I think I have them picked to go like 7-10 this year. I just don't. I don't see all the hype. I think Ryan Tannehill has played out of his mind the last 2 years. He had one good year when he's in Miami, but then, but there again, it could be a whole system thing. But I don't see it. I think that they're going to realize that losing Corey Davis was a bigger hit at receiver for them than what they really realized, because it's been a team that has struggled to find a good receiver, and they finally got A.J. Brown, and then they had Corey Davis, and now they lost Corey Davis. So I think this is a team that is set up to really struggle. But the good thing is it's probably a good confidence booster win. They're starting on the road for the Cardinals. It's a good confidence booster win, because anytime you can win a road game, it boosts your confidence. Right. And it is. It's a good test and a step for that defense to see how well they gelled.
Right. So the Cardinals did pick up some key veteran additions this offseason, 2 of which being James Conner and A.J. Green on the offensive side of the ball. Last year, we saw their offense, kind of be explosive at times, and then basically way below average, like at times as well. Does the addition of A.J. Green and James Conner bring more stability to that offense?
I think more the addition of Conner than anything. There is just weapons galore still, even without Larry Fitzgerald there. I mean, they got Christian Kirk, they've got Andy Isabella, like they've got weapons to throw to in that offense. And I think James Conner is a good complement back. As I said, he's not an every down back. For as big as he is, he's not built to be an every down back. Right. But he could be a good first and second down back. You let Chase Edmonds come in on third down to be that receiving back or that change of pace speed back. And as long as you spell Conner, you're going to be fine. And I think Chase Edmonds, given the way that offense is designed as an air raid offense that Cliff Kingsbury ran, you're going to see a lot more Chase Edmonds out there anyways than James Conner. And I think that's actually going to benefit this offense, because he's going to be able to get those tough yards when everything's all spread out and stuff like that. His life is actually going to be a lot easier. And I will say it's probably one of the more underrated signings in the league this year.
Okay. Yeah. And then looking at their draft as well, many people were saying that Rondale Moore was one of the steals of the draft. He is currently listed as the 4th receiver for the Arizona Cardinals. Do you see him making an impact for them at all this season? And if so, what kind of impact do you think he will have?
I don't know if it's going to be like a huge impact. I think if anything, it's more as like as a gimmick type player, like end arounds, jet sweeps, stuff like that, give and goes, whatever it is. I don't think they're gonna. He's got the benefit of sitting behind some really good receivers and learning, which I don't care who you are as a young guy coming into the league. That is never a bad thing. As much as you're itching and you want to be out there and you want to be playing and you want to be helping your team win, watching, some of these guys that have been there for a couple of years and know what they're doing, is immeasurable because it instills that work ethic into you. And so that's where I think like the AJ Green signing is great, because I'm guessing they're probably guessing Fitz is not coming back. So AJ Green was a great veteran presence signing for them to show the young guys this is how you do it. Kind of continue that Larry Fitzgerald legacy at that, because those two, if you ask me, have almost the exact same work ethic.
Yeah, and just to add to that point, just the biggest learning curve in all of football from college to the NFL is clearly the quarterback, but second is the wide receiver. Simply because you have to learn how to run routes again. Like, they break it completely down and they make you learn how to run routes like again. And sometimes that takes you all off season. It could take you up to six years to really learn how to run a route. So Rondale Moore, the ability to sit behind DeAndre Hopkins, Christian Kirk, AJ Green, even Andy Isabel. It is a great thing for them. So you have them going 12-5 on the season, correct?
I do.
And then I have them going 9-8, 2-4 in the division as well. So we will see where they fall, as we go through the